Every life is a gift from God. And we must therefore be appreciative of the life that the Lord has given to us. I suppose if we are not appreciative of the life that has been given to us, it is because we are not too conscious of our role in the plan of God. We are created not by chance, but for a purpose. We are created for the work of salvation in the beautiful plan of God. There is a purpose. It's very important that each one of us must try to ask the Lord, or must be clear of what the Lord is calling you to do in your life. Of course, that will change at different times of our life. But it's very important that we do not just live, we do not just drift, and we do not just go through life, eat, sleep, work, enjoy. But we have to ask ourselves, how is our life giving meaning to others? How is our life being of contribution to society, to be of service to humanity, and give glory to God? Then really the gift of life that we receive will truly be our own gratitude to God. If you live your life to the fullest, if you give your life for the glory of God, for the service of others, then you will never have to regret in your life, because you have not lived in vain. It doesn't matter actually what you do. It doesn't matter what position you take in life. The Lord has His reason. The Lord has chosen us for a purpose. That purpose, no one can take your place. And that is why it doesn't matter actually, at the end of the day, the position that you hold, but whether you are fulfilling the purpose that you have been created for. That is what gives us fulfillment. That is what gives us joy. A person is fulfilled when he is filled. A person is fulfilled when his potentials are used. But if you are asked to do more than what your potentials are, you get stressed out, you know. But if you have plenty of talents and you don't use also, your life also has no meaning, because so much energy in you, so much things to share, but not used. Then also your life will be half-filled. So it's living our life to the optimum level. And especially for those of us who are parents, or those who are superiors, those who are in charge of others, then our task is to really help them to find their vocation. For parents especially, it is not whether your child is this or that and so on. What is your child called to do? What does the Lord want of him? The point is, it is not a question of we decide for them, but really trying to ask, what is the Lord calling my child? And to discern this child of yours, or your friends, or your colleagues, to discern together, what is the Lord asking of you? And I think that is the most important part of the discernment process. The greatest help we can give to another person is to help the person to discern, to find clarity in the call of God. Clarity. So even for those of you who are heads of departments, those of you in charge, I think it is not just to make sure that your staff is doing the job. I think that is not good enough. That is not good enough. That is a bit selfish. Just because they do the job, then you feel happy and your life is easier. That is not a leader. A leader is more keen to help the person to find, is that what the Lord is calling you to do, so that you can find fulfillment. I think the greatest joy we can help a person is to help the person to find fulfillment in life, and to shape the person, to guide the person to find his or her vocation. We have to ask ourselves, the Lord has given us many gifts, talents and so on. So how do we want to use them? How do you want to use these gifts that the Lord has blessed us? It could be wealth, it could be money, it could be talents, it could be whatever charisms the Lord has given to us. How do we use them for His greater glory? How do we use them to bless others? And I think this is a very important way, and that is the way to really show our gratitude to God for the gift of life, for whatever the Lord has blessed us with. Let us live in such a way that nothing that the Lord has given to us, whether our life, whether our wealth, whether our position, that we have received all these things in vain. That would be very sad, really sad for the person. But if we have used them well, for ourselves, for others, for the community, and for the glory of God, then indeed we can say we have lived well.